Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Spice Road event, which is confusing as hell. So let's get into it. Starter things to note, is it a 2 or 3? It is a 2-day event, cross only. It is a individual title, so it's not an Alliance MVP reward. You get 100 stamina every 30 minutes. What else? I think that covers the very basics. So let's start looking at our carriages. So we're going to use our stamina to send out carriages. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we want to fulfill spice orders. Spice orders are how we gain points. So let's take a look at dispatching a carriage. You're going to start the game with only the right access to the regular carriage unless you spent money. If you spent money, I would immediately advise that you go into your transport skills and grab Carriage Union. First thing you're going to do is choose your destination. The game will tell you which one it thinks is best for you based on what you currently have. I have found that trusting this has been fairly successful, and I've only ever gone against it a couple times when I felt that I was not in a great ratio. I would generally just stick to this. So let's go ahead and grab that one. Cool, we're already there, right? So we're going to dispatch a regular carriage. So when I do that, after transport, I'm going to get 10 total spices. It's going to take half an hour for my carriage to reach its destination. And when we dispatch, we're going to get 50 points, we're going to get 4 raid points, and we're going to get 80 talent XP for our skill tree. So, now we're going to look at setting up a carriage. First things first, let's turn off this ticket challenge. That's something we can get into later. Looking at our carriage, we have 2, 4, 6, 10 spices, right? So, what do we do with that? Well, we can move these things around, and this is where people start to get really confused. So, we want people to not hit our spices. That's the goal. And what we would like instead is for them to land on traps. Now, I personally have not gone into traps. I just use the knights. The bells from the green tree, which we'll talk about shortly, are also very helpful, as well as the bear trap. Security rules are more end game of this event and generally only going to be reached if you're spending a lot of money. We can talk about them as well, but they're generally not something I've ever taken. What they're going to do is they're going to disable some raiding abilities, which, again, something we'll get into. Okay, so we're setting this carriage up. Now, think of this like Minesweeper meets Battleship. If somebody wants to collect this group of 4 spices, they have to find all 4 of these tiles. If they find this single spice by itself, they just get it. It's done. If they find the right spice here, but not the left one, they don't get any of it. So what I'm trying to get at is they need to not only find out where your stuff is, but get the entire block, I guess we'll call it. These guys here are knight defenses. So what those are going to do, I thought it would give me a description, but apparently not. When somebody tries to raid, they're going to click a tile. So let's say that they clicked this tile right here, the one my mouse is on. The number that would display is 5. And the reason for this is that there are 5 things touching this tile. So every tile can be touched by up to 8 things, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm full of shit. It's 4. I can't count. I'm going to make it 5, just make a point. Cool. So we have 5 there. If they know this, they know that within this block here, there are 5 targets. They don't know that 2 of them are swords. So we want them to ideally click one of these guys. Or we want to be sneaky and we want to do something like this and we want to rotate it. So that, let's say, well, now it would actually show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say that they hit this one. they will know that it is connected to another box, and they will be able to see what boxes I have, and we'll get into that when we get into rating. So basically, they're going to either hit this box, and they're going to know that in one of the directions there is another box because it is a straight line. All of my boxes are straight lines at the moment. So we're going to hope that they go up here and hit the sword instead of going down here and hitting this other one. At the same time, we're actually going to do this. We're going to move this guy here. Actually, let's move this guy here. Now we're in a pretty good spot. We have 6 covered off this square. And if they want to go for this guy, they don't know what direction it is. And again, we can be sneaky with that too. We could do something like this and this, you know, or this, this, and this. You know, you can do different things to mind game whoever's raiding you, is what I'm getting at here. And I would take the time to do that. The game will auto place for you, so we'll take a look at that real quick. So we're going to send this one out. This one's done. I have nothing else to do with this one. I apparently could add this box if I wanted to, but okay, we'll add it. So we've added this box in. That's just more chances for them to hit me, actually, so we're going to take that box out. It's not giving us anything extra. We get the same amount of spices. It's based on the carriage, not how many boxes you're carrying. So cool, we're good to go. Set up. It's sent, or no, it's not. I lied. We have 2 out of 6 of the maximum security that you can have. It's going to cost 100. We're going to dispatch it, and boom, you got our points. All good. It's on the road now. It's going to take 30 minutes. We also got some raid points from that. Okay. So that is kind of the basics of building your box, the basics of your regular carriage, and your destination. Let's quickly take a look at the transport skills. We're going to take a look first at the blue skills, as they are probably the most important. They're your utility skills. Carriage Union is the first one, and it's going to unlock all the other carriages, which I'll go back to momentarily. Increased guard count is huge. This is a free defense on every single one of your carriages that is not going to cost raid points. Security, like defenses, will cost you raid points to deploy into your boxes. Increased guard count is a great way to raise the exposure and end a raid on you sooner without any cost to yourself. Order revenue boost is very obvious. Let's get more points, right? Cool. Collaborative order revenue boost. Honestly, probably next thing I'll grab. Yeah. We want more points. Points are just good. Points are what help us win, right? So you're going to want to go into the rating tree, no matter how strong you are. Rating is a huge part of this event. It doesn't matter if you're a new player, if you're weak, whatever, you need to do rating. It's just part of this event. Make sure to get the unlock basic search. It's going to make your life a lot easier. And rating preparation. Honestly, you could get rating skill as well. It's not a terrible talent. It should also be noted that all of these nodes are going to be locked behind a transport level, and that's going to go up every time we send carriages. Well, our XP will go up every time we send carriages. So there are going to be times where I personally hold on to points because I'll have levels, but I don't want to just dump them in. I don't want to use these. These are not my style. You can use them. They're not terrible. I just don't like them. Unlock spice chests I might get just for more shapes to make it harder to raid me, but even still, mind gaming, I feel you can get a lot done. This is not a bad choice to pick up, though. It's just not quite as high prio as everything else, in my opinion. Raiding preparation is big because it's going to give you a starting jumping off point when you raid someone, which we'll get into. Unlock advanced search. You're going to want to grab this, and you're probably not going to use most of this because most of these cost a lot of raid points to use. But we're going to get it because it leads to this node here, the giant carriage bonus. And this is one of the biggest nodes on the entire board. You have to get this node if you're going for points. It's locked behind level 16. You're not going to get it right away. You're going to want to get that as soon as possible, though. So we got the blues. Blues, I kind of wandered off there. Rest of the blues. So order refresh discount. We've already kind of. Oh, I haven't talked about that yet, actually. Okay. Don't get this. Don't ever get this unless you are a whale. If you're a whale, sure. But the rest of us are not refreshing orders if we're working together. Night training's not a bad one to have. It just buffs up all your knights. Can't hurt. Enhanced guard is a very nice one if you are very powerful. If you are not, I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking it. It's only going to take effect if the raiding party loses when they fight your knights. What it'll do is it'll immediately end the raid, which is cool. But it's unless you're powerful enough to consistently do that, I wouldn't take it. This one, again, very obvious revenue boost, 20%. Let's go. And then additional harvest comes in at level 20. So you got a 4 level difference between these two. Everything up here, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never spent enough money to touch. I don't really know. Theoretically, I would say that this is honestly probably very skippable Enhanced Knight. I would probably approach the middle of the tree from the top or from the sides. Um, the top of the middle tree from the sides, sorry. Um, yeah. So, and then up here we have another guard count, which would be sick. If you're at level 25, like, why not? And again, another huge boost at level 28. Not a huge boost, but a boost at level 28. And then at level 30, you can upgrade the speed. Realistically, most of us are going to get up to about this point. Now let's take a look at the green tree. This is our defensives. I've kind of touched on them a bit. Spice chest is going to give us more shapes. It's going to give us a Z shape. It's going to give us a box shape. It's going to give us all sorts of stuff to mess with our enemies' minds. Not a bad thing to pick up. Just make sure that it's not being picked up before these before these 5. Carriage Union, increased guard count, order revenue boost, basic search, and raiding preparation. After that, you can choose between collaborative order boost or unlock spice chests. I personally would not use these defenses unless you are very underpowered for the events. They are helpful. They will help end a raid, but they're going to cost you raid points to deploy. So, double-edged sword. Increased guard count is actually one of the only things from the green tree I'd say is really great. Wherever you can get this increased guard count is just huge. It's just free defenses. We want as many free defenses as we can get. For basic security and advanced security, I wouldn't really bother. What basic security does is it's going to nullify all these searches. If somebody has this active, we can't use these searches. Same thing with advanced versus advanced. I don't really go for these ever. Raiding is hard. Most people don't get it. Maybe they will after this video. But I've not really needed these. Again, big whale ability here that I don't think I've ever had. And then this, if I was whaling, I would definitely grab the alert value cap for dispatching is reduced by 10. So that means they need 10 less to reach your limit and end the raid early. So nice defensive there. Increase guard count if you're rich, collaborative order if you're rich, and we're back over to the red tree. So let's finish this one up. Raiding skill's nice because it's just extra points. You're ideally going to be doing well in raiding, so when you're uncovering slots, you're going to get more points. You like that. Advanced search, again, is just a means to an end to get to giant carriage bonus. You could alternatively come up around, but the problem with that is that you go from level 16s here to level 18, so you'll be waiting till level 18 to come back around to that, which I don't really think is ideal. Other stuff on the side of the tree that is worth mentioning, this is great, Spice Enthusiast, extra points. Kleptomaniac should always be taken. I count it as the middle tree. It is, I guess, technically the left tree, because this is just more raid points when you dispatch. And again, whale abilities, you will not be interrupted if you're a stronger transport and you fight their knights. So cool. And this one will not increase exposure. So yeah, that's our talent tree. There's a lot to go over. So Now we're going to quickly look at what we unlocked with one of our most important things, the carriage union. We now have access to these three carriages. We have the high-speed carriage, the caravan, and the royal carriage. You'll notice that they each have a different stamina amount attached to them. So our basic carriage is going to cost us 100, high speed 55, caravan 200, and royal 120. I would highly advise never using the high speed carriage or the royal carriage. The reason for this is because if you look, we're going to be gaining 100 stamina consistently. We're always going to be ending in zeros. That's what we want. We don't want to screw that up. If we change that and use a royal carriage, you're going to have to use 5 royal carriages to get back to that. Whatever, not a huge deal, I guess. But when it comes to like this guy, the high speed carriage, you're going to need to use 10 of those to get back to a even zero number. We don't want that. That's way too many. Unless you really just want to send a bunch. I don't know. I don't like it. I use the caravan mainly and the regular carriage. Those are the two best in my opinion. The high speed carriage is going to give you less goods. You have less room. It's easier to actually be rated. Um, it's not good. It's got that 55 cost. I don't like it. If you want to use it, go right ahead. The only time that even I would think to use it is for a ticket challenge, which we'll get into, and even then, the royal carriage is a much better choice. So, what else to talk about? I think that kind of covers it for the carriages for now. The big thing to note is the difference in time, the difference in spices gained, and the difference in points when dispatched. And of course, the stamina. The space is another thing to consider, especially when we get into rating, which we will do shortly. And the ticket challenge is something we'll discuss then as well. So, cool. Something just finished. I got rated. I can tell before I even look at my log because, well, I was rated 6 times and my alert hit 50. Cool. But this carriage should have had 10 in it, and I've received 7. So somebody hit me for 3. And let's take a look. So somebody hit me. They got 40 of my alert. They revealed some tiles, but then they couldn't get anything. Somebody else came in, looked at the revealed tiles, did a little bit of homework, and found some of my spices. That's the way she goes. This wasn't the greatest setup. I mean, again, there is luck involved in all this. This one was rated for 1. I only got 9 of my 10. So yeah, good to keep note of like how well your setups are working. That is what I guess I'm trying to get out there. And that was just good, like fortuitous timing that would pop up right now. So we have covered transport. We have covered dispatch. We have covered spice orders. Not really. So spice orders. We're gonna cancel this share real quick so I can show you. Okay. There are 5 different kinds of spice orders. There are green banner ones, there are blue banner ones, there are purple banner ones, there are orange banner ones, which I obviously don't have, and then red banner ones, which are baller. So, what we want, ideally, is, okay, the higher quality the order, the more reward you're going to gain from it. So, the game by default gives you this nice little button here to refresh. It costs 50 gold to refresh. The refreshed cost increases each time it is used, but resets after completing any individual order. If you ain't whaling, you should not be hitting this button. You should be talking to your alliance, and you should be collaborating. We don't want this blue order. We do not want to put all this stuff. I don't want to put 8 flowers into there. Not a chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to share this to our alliance. And we're going to be not a jerk about it. We're going to take the 1 wood that we need to spend, the 1 leaf that we need to spend, and then for the flower, we're going to go ahead and just go, let's say, 3 out of 8. And my kind of logic here is that we're looking at something worth 10 total, right? So if I put in 3 here, 1, 1, I'm putting in 5. I'm putting in half of it. And you can see your completed proportion here and your amount of points gained. You'll see it is slightly lower than what you would have gotten for doing it yourself. In this case, we're getting 1 point less because 110 divided by 2 would be 55 as opposed to 54. So keep that in mind. We could like change that around a little bit, but I wouldn't. I'd say do half, half or even less if your alliance is chill and don't really care. Communicate that with them first, though, to see. So we send out collaboration orders. Hopefully, somebody goes ahead and picks one of those up. You know, let's just resend them because I'm obnoxious and want to make some points. So we're gonna go ahead. So this one here, what we're looking at, this is 20 spices total. So we're gonna send 10. So we're gonna go 4, 2, 2. I can't count. So we're gonna go 6, 2, 2. So that's 10. So we're gonna submit that, and then we're gonna go ahead and share this other guy. And the cost for refreshing doesn't matter. Like if it's a purple or a green or a blue, it's always going to be start at 50 and climb until you send out another. So we're going to share this guy here. So 20 again. So let's go 6, 2, and 2. Cool. So now, someone in my alliance will sometime soon grab one of these. And once it's completed, we're going to get a new order. So effectively, we're refreshing by using our ingredients and teamwork rather than gold. You can use gold. If you have a lot of gold, by all means, go for it. I don't. I have 8,000, which might sound like a lot, but that's an exile space. Like, that goes quick. So, I would really highly recommend doing it this way. The rewards are going to be better, as I said, based on the color. So, you'll notice the purple ones here are going to give us ticket challenge chances, which we'll get into very shortly, because we're going to get into rating right away. You can also see other members' collaboration orders here. So we're going to help out my friend Aries here, and we're going to finish a few of her orders so that she can get some new ones in there as well. And as you see, we're getting points all along the way. It's not like this is some selfless act. This is just teamwork. You are not hurting yourself by helping your team. Trust. So, before we get into rating, I want to talk about the giant ticket and the giant carriage. Giant carriage is going to spawn twice a day. It's going to spawn shortly after events start. I want to say 3 hours after events start, and then well, I could just look. I could do math. So it'll be 6 hours after that. It's going to be 3 hours after events start, and then at Pirates. So when this happens, you're going to be using a different currency to participate, and that's these giant carriage tickets. To get one, you need to spend 6 raid points. This is a cumulative 6. This goes like no matter if we're going in here and we're editing and we're making devices, like these guys here cost 1 raid point. That would count towards our raid point. It is still consumed. So you don't necessarily have to raid, I guess, but like you should, because like there's really no point not to. The benefits far outweigh the cons in my opinion. So every 6 of these, we're going to get 1 of these. Okay, so right now we have 12 raid points. And remember, raid points come from dispatching our carriages. 4, 2, 8, and 4. So let's take a look. I'm going to actually get a few more raid points so I can do a really good one on someone. So let's, oh, apparently I didn't use my shot. I'm going to just go ahead and pop that real quick. Do. Pop all those. I was dumb. Never do what I just did. Never overcap on stamina. I just stopped my stamina from recharging. I was 5 minutes away from my next stamina. Never, ever do what I just did in any event. That was very dumb. Okay, moving on. So, the way I like to play, I am. Wait, did I have more transport skills? Wow, all those didn't do anything. Cool, love that. So, where do we want to go? Turmeric fields, not turmeric, still sounds good. I'm going to switch it up from the regular carriage to the caravan. And there's a few reasons I rock the caravan. So, the caravan is going to give you, it's just twice as much, and literally, in terms of dispatch, is going to give you, well, in terms of everything, is going to give you just twice the amount. Um, it also has a much higher, like almost double the capacity for security. So if you're running security, good to know. The other beautiful thing is that this box is 8 by 8 as opposed to by 6 by 6. So a 6 by 6 box is going to have 36 spaces to choose from, whereas an 8 by 8 is going to have 64. This is going to be harder to raid. Now, we also transport 20 spices on here, so we are going to have more spices, but we're going to mind game them. That's how we do it. So let's go ahead, choose this carriage. I said choose this carriage. Good enough. Okay, cool. So we've got all this stuff in here. I don't think that I can actually. Can I take anything? You can. I wouldn't though. Okay. So when I'm setting this up, one of like this is a tough one because like a lot of this is going to be without bells, without the enhanced guards from later. We don't have a whole lot. We only have our 2 enhanced. If you are running bells, it's probably okay to throw a bell or 2 into a caravan. Remember, you just want to play the mind games with them though. So like here, we're gonna move this guy vertical, place it here. We want to spread stuff up a bit. We want people to be confused. We like that. So this is an interesting setup. I don't know that this is ideal, but I have to go to work soon and I want to make this video. I do have the ticket challenge here. So what the ticket challenge is going to do is, if my transport successfully reaches its destination without being rated of 3 spices, then I get a giant carriage ticket. If I fail, I don't get the giant carriage ticket and I lose my chance at the challenge. I would personally not throw them into caravans. Caravans have an hour duration, and that's an easy way to get hit and lose your giant ticket, which is worth a lot. So let's go ahead and take it off for this guy, and let's send this carriage. That should actually, yeah, like it's in our transport level, and we're gonna do something fun here, and see, we can't even get these guys yet. Ooh, I do like this though. We're gonna go spice chests just so I can show it. Yeah. So we're gonna dispatch another carriage. This time I'm gonna do a ticket challenge. So if I'm gonna do a ticket challenge, I'm gonna take my regular carriage because it's only 30 minutes. You have the option of taking one of these faster carriages, but remember what you're potentially doing to your stamina. And that could be problematic. Not as problematic as, overcapping like I did, but problematic nonetheless. So, as you can see, whoa, we have all these different shapes now. So, to hell with this straight line. Oh wait, what? The 4 compartments box is placed in the carriage of reached. Okay, apparently I can't use that one in this here. I'm not really sure why. But, because I can only have one, I think, for, yeah, okay. So let's go like something like this. Like this is what I mean by mind gaming people. So, and we're gonna get a real good look at this in a second when we raid somebody. But again, let's say that let's say they even hit right here with their initial search. They're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections. Now they're going to look at my boxes and they're going to see, well, he has a couple straight ones, and then he's got this T or whatever you want to call that. So most people are probably, if they hit this one first, going to horizontally go to either one of these ones. If they go here and miss, they'll probably go here. If they hit this one, then they're probably either going to think it's a 3 or the cross. Okay? If they think it's a 3, then they're going to continue here and they'll miss. And then they'll know it's the cross. And in this situation, that would be bad for me because they would actually know it's just right here and here. I don't know what they're going to see though. You can't plan for that. That's luck. So I'm going to do it like this with the hopes that they click one of these, see a bunch of connected, and just click and accidentally run into my knights. Because that's going to raise the exposure and end it early. Now, another thing that we can do, and I'm going to do this real quick while we're doing the ticket challenge, is if you have bought any packs for the event, you will have speed ups, and you can also buy them from the item store. I basically use my speed ups solely for ticket challenges, which is why I avoid the other carriages completely. So we're going to dispatch this guy. Your carriage has activated the ticket challenge, but no defense is deployed. Do not remind me again. Confirm. It's out there now. So that would be this guy here. So we're going to go ahead, click it, and click the accelerate button. Apparently I can just do this, and it leads to the screen. It's been a while. So this is the one I just sent out. We're going to accelerate it. So, bam. Done. We just got our ticket, all of our stuff. Good to go. You notice my raid points have been climbing as we do this because I'm just going to quickly dispatch and claim that other ticket. So our raid points go up again with our carriages. So I'm going to go back to the caravan. I'm all out of the giant raid ticket chances at the moment, which come from your spice orders. So back to caravans. And the game, like, you can honestly probably just accept what the game gives you a lot of the time. I don't. I'm a tryhard. I like to, like, mix it up and, like, see if I can catch people off. It's a lot. Do what you can. Try and spread out singles. That's going to cause confusion for trying to find your battleships. And try and place, like, don't forget that you can switch the direction of things too. Like, even this guy here, our L shape here, we can move this to be like this. We're gonna move the sword first. And we can sneak this guy in there. And now, knowing that I have a bunch of horizontals, or, you know, verticals, I guess, but straight lines, there's a chance to hit this and immediately go into my knight. So that's the kind of thinking I'm talking about. I know I keep coming back to it and it's probably like super annoying, but like it's super helpful. So good enough. Set up, send. I'm going to do this a couple more times just to get some more raid points. And honestly, this one's not too bad. We'll go ahead and put that there. This can go up there. This can go over there. You just don't want everything like center mass, and sometimes the game likes to do that to you. Cool. And I think I have enough for one more. So let's go ahead and send this guy. Like, sure, that's fine. That's not optimal, but we're just going to do it. I don't really care. Cool. So we're sitting on a 52 raid points right now and a transport skill. And since I'm about to go into raiding somebody, I'm going to go ahead and grab this raiding skill. For each slot uncovered, gain an additional 9 points. We like points. So we're going to hop into the raid here. And there's currently none that I can hit. So we're going to refresh. Your first refresh is always going to cost 0 and go up in cost until you hit somebody. If I hit somebody now, this goes back down to 0. So let's take a look. We have a level 7, 6, and 4 transport. That is the first thing I'd look at. That's going to let you know what kind of defenses they might have. Now, number of spices, 5. I don't really give a fuck about that. 10, 10, cool. Alert value. So when the alert value hits 50, you're kicked out and nobody can raid that carriage again. It's done. It gets to finish its merry way and nobody can do anything about it. So, and we'll talk about how that goes up in a second. Visible grids is how many, well, what it sounds like, how many tiles there are to potentially choose from. So, yeah, quick vape break, sorry. I'm also really sick. I don't know why I'm doing a video right now, but whatever. So, out of all these, I like Haru here. Oh, don't hit your own server as well. Be careful. That's super uncouth. But yeah, so we're gonna hit this guy because he has 0 alert already, 0 visible grids. There are times when you might want to hit something that has visible grids and alert value. Say for example, if someone has a ticket challenge active, it'll be displayed down here, which we'll hopefully see in a raid or two. And having, say, 20 or 30 alert value, but like 8 visible grids, that's going to give you a good start to try and get those 3 that you need to steal the raid ticket. So keep that in mind. But for here, we're just going with what looks easy. Level 4, 10 spices, no alert, no grid scene. Okay. So we're going to go in. And the first thing you're going to notice is that our skill from the raid tree is going to unlock 2 of them. So, what do I know? I know this guy has 3 single spices in here, 2 2 slots and 1 3 slot. He also has 1 set of knights, and yeah, he's got not a whole lot going on. So this is identity exposed. I don't really care about this. I openly raid people all the time. You can hide it if you don't use enough to expose yourself. I don't know. Just it's up to you. I don't really care. Like if you're gonna hit someone, hit someone. Um, alert is what we care about. So you'll see right now I'm selecting the single grid search. That has an alert value of 3. If we switch through these, you're going to see that some of them get pretty high up there. Like I can scan the entire board and hit 3 random ones, and that's going to cost me 8. And we can do a big 4 block. That's going to cost me 10. We could do a 6 all the way across. That's 16. This guy here is actually a very cool one, I believe. It actually marks what spots have stuff, but that one's going to cost 14. So you want to think about how much exposure there is. And you also need to think about the fact that all of these abilities have different costs. Not only do they have different costs, each one, aside from the single grid search, can only be used once per raid. So, what I generally do is I'm going to go in. I see I have my 2 already. This doesn't tell me much. I have 5 squares connected to this, and 3 of them have something. One of those could be a sword. One is connected to these 5. I'm not going to even try and guess off that. So, let's take this 3 and let's try and get some more info. Okay, so it randomly chose 3 more for me. So, our exposure's gone up. Now what do we know? We have a multi-slot spice box. So, it can't be a single, right? So it has to be a 2 or a 3. So let's go back to our individual search. So if it's a 2, and there's 3 connected to this one, I'm actually going to go ahead and guess that this is his 3 right here, because he could have something connected up here and have both of these bottom ones being touched. So, oh, I was wrong. Okay, all good. This 3's right there. But that's basically how you figure it out. At this point, I'm going to be honest with you. So like, see, I can't use this ability again, 0 out of 1. Like, they're all limited. I don't know much. What I know right now, yeah, not enough to make, like, don't make the mistake of both of these saying 1 means this is it. That's not necessarily true at all. It could absolutely be this. This 1 could be touching something over here, and this 1 could be touching something over here. This is not a guaranteed tell. So honestly, I'm probably just going to leave this one. Good. And as you can see, I hit someone, we're back down to 0. Refresh, let's go again. Nobody has a ticket challenge, one of the first things I look for. Let's look at levels, 6, 6, 5. This guy's got 20 spices. I'm gonna go with this guy. Got 20 spices. So as you see, we got our first 2 initially. Now this is nice. We got a 5 here. So there are only 8 blocks connected to this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy here, our little scanner, and we're gonna, you know what, I'm gonna not use that because I want to show for people who haven't unlocked that yet. So, oh, I think you unlocked that with the basic. I'm gonna double check real quick, sorry. You do unlock precision with basic, never mind. You should definitely use that then. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use precision here. And that's gonna show us some stuff. Okay, so these are the 5 that are being connected. What do we know about his blocks? Well, we know he has 9 singles in here. He has 2 that are 2 blocks. He has 1 L shape and he has 1 square. In addition to that, he has 2 single knight defenses somewhere out here. This is not lovely. These 2 boxes here scare me. I wonder if one of these might be the knights. But then it could also be a single, and a knight, or it could be the 2 block and then maybe the start of, it can't be the start of the L going that way, or we'd see it there. It can't be the start of a block, or we'd see it there. Right? So like, you have to use the information that you have to really deduce what you're gonna do, because these raid points are valuable. Like every spice you get counts. So we're gonna go ahead. I think that this is the safer way to go. Cool. That was a single spice. You know it's a single spice because no question mark popped up. A question mark will pop up if it's connected to other ones as well. So, what else? What will we do now? So, there's a good chance this could be the 2 block actually. Oh, and there we go. It's a knight. So, we're going to fight him. And I win this one. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, the problem is, though, is that just by touching that knight tile, just by getting into this combat, I increased the alert value by 12. That's dicey. I don't like that. We're already not in a great position for this card already. This is not a sword. Yeah, that would be very silly. These are all just singles. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We're almost full on exposure. There's no point in gambling because what do we know? We have a 0 and a 0. We have nothing. We have no idea where the rest of the stuff is. So we're done with this guy. Refresh again. And I'm going to start doing this just a little bit faster just to get through it. So we're going to hit this one, level 4. Easiest target. Let's take it. So looking at this, we have 3 connected here, 2 connected here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my 4 box here. And that's going to reveal some randomly in there. And as you can see, that gave us a good idea of where others might be. So we have 1 connected here, but 0 connected here. So there cannot be a box here. There can be a box here. There can be a box here because there's 2 connected potentially to this one. But if that were the case, then this 1 would also be 2 if that was 1, right? So I'm thinking that this 2 is connected to something over here probably, and that this 1 is probably this guy here. Oh, nope, that's all good. So what do we know now? 0, 1, 2. It's most likely this one. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Okay, it's this one then. Whatever. Don't do what I just did, by the way. If you find a question mark, don't try and deduce shit. Figure out the question mark first. So this is either a 2 block or a 4 block. It's a 2 block. Done. So now we have 2 and 2 connecting up here, which is going to tell me that I honestly think that this is either a 2 and a single or his 4 block right here. So I'm going to start way the fuck over here. Bad idea. Okay, so we got 1. This is their 2 block actually. Okay. Now, what should I do? Not a damn thing. I have no ideas. No clues. I could scan, but I'd raise my alert by 8, putting me at 39, giving me only 3 more individual chances. In addition, this guy still has his knights. So I could instantly just end up going over if I accidentally uncover that. So we're done with this guy. What are we looking at? We still have 25 raid tickets. We're looking good. Like, just keep going through, keep knocking people out. This guy here, this is one that is interesting to me. So, like, it's 22 alert value, but 8 visible grids, but only 5 spices. So, like, how do you want to do that, right? Like, do you want to go for that, or do you want to go for the 10, potentially get more, or the 20 and potentially get more? Personally, I'm going to go for the 20. It's up to you. Do what you... Wow, what is with the... Oh, okay, it's their alliance. It's like Fiona Gallagher and Phil Dunphy. What's going on? Okay. All right. So, we opened this guy up, got our 2 initially. This guy has 2 swords. He's got a whole bunch of singles and only a few connected. We're going to go ahead and pop our big search. Cool. We have kind of an idea of what's going on now. And by kind of an idea, I mean like not really a fucking clue. I'm going to guess nothing yet. I'm going to use precision because this guy has spread these out all over the place from what I can tell. We're going to go ahead and hit here. Okay, so now we have a little bit more information on this map. I would like a little bit more information, to be honest, before I start going hard. So we're going to go ahead and get this kind of dead area here. So we know there's 1 somewhere here. There's 1 in here. I think this would be the best spot to pop this. It's going to unlock some random. It's going to unlock. Does it tell us how many? I think it's just three, four. It unlocks four spots. Oh, the four number would tell you. Yeah. So now what I've got is 18 exposure to play with, and honestly, not a whole lot to go off of other than my precision marking. We do know he has a 3 box and a 2 box. Those could very well be them. I'm going to risk it. I fucked up. It's like, yep, I think I am only one move away from being exposed or being locked out. So I'm going to go for it. What do I have to lose? Well, I hit another one. Interesting. It's it's done. This one's done. He is safely on his way. And sometimes that's how it goes. So now, see, this is what I was refreshing for. Includes a giant carriage ticket. So, what we need to do is we need to take them out. We need to get 3 spices. If we can unlock 3 spices, we get their giant carriage ticket and they get nothing. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go into the one where they have 20 but more space, or do you want to go into the one where they have 10 but less space? It's a tough call, right? So, personally, and another thing to keep track of, sorry, I should have mentioned this way earlier, the timer on these, the carriage can end while you're raiding it. So you can get kicked out by that. Don't like raid something with 30 seconds left. You're just going to make yourself sad. This percentage also shows you how far along they are on their trip. Yeah, sorry. So I think I only have 13 tickets. I can't use a bunch of big ones left. So let's go for the smaller one. Got unlucky with our initials, but let's go ahead and do a search. Okay, we found 1 spice. So 1 is around here. 1 is around here. 2 are around here. 2 are around here. So, and again, I'm not like a genius at this. I'm just doing my best out here. But like, I think that this is a safe bet. Yeah, all good. Oh, it's 4 you need to get to collect their ticket. Okay, so what do we know now? Now we know that there's 3 connected to this one. I think this is a safe bet. Wow, I am getting wrecked. Love that. Cable's got to be here then. And then this one. Really? Okay, all good. So he's got a 4 block. He can't be there. So where could his 4 block be? Well, it could be anywhere that there's a space for 4. So any of those 3 spots. Now, it can't be here vertically because this block would be touching 3 if it was here from the bottom. And this one would be touching more as well. So, where could it be? I think his 4 block is vertical right here. That's my guess. And I might be wrong, but let's try it out. And there we go. Not only did we steal some stuff, we got a giant ticket. And honestly, this guy's still kind of good to raid. I mean, he only has an L left and or corner left and 2 singles left because I already got one of them. So, is it worth it? No. We're getting out of here. There's 2 swords in there. I'm just going to hit exposure and waste them. I have 2 raid challenges left. I'm not going to waste any more. You'll see for all of those, though, we're up to 13 giant tickets now. Additionally, you'll see that the 2 that I have, spent over that previous 6 are being accrued towards the next. Oh my goodness. So this is why I had to do like a whole long video about this, because this event is just insane. So we know about raiding now. We know about spice orders. We know about our transport skills. We know about our carriages. The last thing is giant carriages, and unfortunately I can't give you a live display of this one because it's only going to be available at certain points of the day. Now, I can give you an idea of what to do, so pay attention. Work with your alliance. Basically, you have 2 search options in a giant carriage. A giant carriage looks very similar to Nibelungen Treasure. with, I believe, 130 or 190 rows. Watch it be something completely different. I don't really care. What you're going to do is every alliance currently participating in this event, so like quite a few of them, I'd assume. Oh yeah, like we got lots of alliances. So I'm not really competing, but there's enough. All of us are going to be looking at that same board at the same time, and we're all going to be fighting for chests of varying rarity. Um, so what's going to happen is you have two raid options. You can use one of your giant raid tickets to search a single spot, or you can use six to scan a 6x6 area and reveal four random tiles or five random tiles. Maybe it's six random tiles actually. I think it's six random tiles. Yeah, 6x6, six random tiles. Yeah, that makes. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to have people initially use the six. You want to communicate where. I like to go somewhere like I'll be like, let's start row 40, and I'll do a six first. So what that's going to do is it's going to open up a large area of numbers for us to see, and then we can use our individuals to actually find the chests. You might pick some up randomly with your random scan. That's cool, but most of it is going to come down to is it um, is it giving you the information you need? And it's exactly like what we just played, except everything is single. There is no connected box. Every box is going to be single, and we need very much to. Is anyone going to do my orders? Like, oh my god. Okay, I'm kidding. So anyway, um, you want to plan this out with your alliance because your alliance is actually going to get ranked against other alliances during this time. Work together, go quick, use logic, do what we kind of just went over for the normal raids, but remember that you're only searching for singles. Now, these chests, when you open them, are going to bring up a wheel, and the wheel is going to have a random amount of points on it, up to a very large amount. I've never hit the large amount. I'm sure it's possible, but whatever. So, why is this important? Why would I tell you not to just full yeet your chests? Well, because I don't have this yet. And you want to know something super cool? Our chests that we get today are going to carry over till tomorrow. So any more chests that I get today are just going to sit here for the rest of the night. They'll be sitting under here when the giant carriage leaves. Anything you've gained will be sitting here ready to open. So knowing that they last through reset, we can plan to get this tomorrow and increase the value of any of those chests by 20%. And that is huge because if we hit a 100, that's, 20 extra points. If we hit a 2000, that's 400 extra points. That's a big chunk of change. So I wouldn't mess around with that. Like, I would get this. I would hold your chests till you have this. This is one of the most RNG sources of points in like any event I can think of, but it is what it is. So definitely maximize it with this 20%. And honestly, other than that, your dispatch nights, I just let whatever the game picks for me. Um, I'm not too concerned with that. I feel it does a pretty good job. Your defense knights, in my opinion, aren't really meant to win the battle. They're meant to raise exposure. I don't ever put my biggest knights in my defense lineup. I want to win on enemy carriages so I don't get kicked off, even if the exposure is raised up. Losing is an instant kick, whereas winning is just an exposure raise. So, or alert raise. And I think that that honestly, I think that covers the majority of the event. Um, there are some probably small things that I'm missing, but Yeah, I really hope that this cleared up this very convoluted event for some people, and that you can. Oh, look at that! Someone completed one of my orders. That's perfect. So you can see we got a new order there now. We're gonna go ahead. This one, we're gonna take that off. Take that off. And bring that down to 3. Oh, someone completed another one for me. Nice. So we got another purple one now. So we just keep doing this, and as you'll see, like the point is just we're trying to get a good order. And once I get a good order, I'm going to save all of my own materials for that order because that's going to be worth a lot. And again, you can collaborate. You can do collaborative big orders with your alliance. That's fine too. It's just, think about like what I'd suggest you really think about is if you guys have the collaborative bonuses from the skill tree. So like this guy here, collaborative order revenue boost, and then this one up here. But again, this is a whale like ability, so like I don't know. I personally would not use your reds and oranges as a team. I would just use them for yourself, unless you're trying to help an alliance member win. In which case, that'd be very nice of you to just share, one of each thing, and then let them complete the order for the lion's share of the rewards. So anyway, I hope that this video helps you guys. It's long-winded as hell, and but I honestly think that this event kind of needs it. There's no way to do a quick guide for this event. There is just too much to cover. So anyway, thanks for watching, and good luck on your convoy. Peace.